The worldview, this is what's very confusing, I think, is that the worldview which the Buddha grew up in and lived his 80 some years of life in 25 centuries ago was a worldview that embraced reincarnation. So how does reincarnation figure into all of this stuff about whether the world exists or doesn't exist, whether the soul is part of the body or not part of the body? How does it fit in? Because it seems like if you believe in reincarnation, then you believe that there's a soul somehow separate from the body that gets transmigrated from one lifetime to the next lifetime. This is problematic. This is probably, we have to see the illogic of this from a secular and Western perspective. It doesn't make a lot of sense. And so I just want to acknowledge that. So one of the benefits of our practice is that, like I mentioned at the beginning, we don't have to have a particular set of beliefs to study Buddhism and to benefit from Buddhism. We don't have to believe in reincarnation. And in fact, I think that we have to be very careful around ideas of what happens at the end of our life, because they may not be so even helpful for us today in the modern age. You know, it might be exciting or exotic to think about reincarnation and about the next person being reincarnated as a high monk or something like that. That might be a really neat pursuit. But we are in a very serious situation as a Earth community, as humanity. Humanity is in a very precarious situation, perhaps the most dangerous historically than we've ever been, than any humans in the past 40,000 years of human history has ever been in, because we are in the midst of a mass extinction taking place right now on our planet. And part of the problem is that humans don't value the earth. And we get a worldview like one of reincarnation, where in the time of the Buddha, the idea was to be able to escape from the suffering of the world. That's what nirvana is about. That when you end your life, you don't return again to this world. So if we live in a worldview that like this, where it's saying basically do your best in this world, but ultimately your ultimate goal is to not return to it. What is that saying about this planet and about how we feel about or feel towards future generations of humans, animals, plants, all of them? And so we have to be really careful here of embracing that kind of thinking. And even the bodhisattva vow is just an extension. So the bodhisattva vow, bodhisattva is the awakening being. So make the history lesson a little shorter. The bodhisattva is one that puts off their awakening. They can enter nirvana at any moment, but they choose to return again and again into the world until all beings are enlightened, and then all beings together enter nirvana. So this is, if we take this to its logical conclusion, it's also a kind of world denying perspective. It's saying that once all beings are saved, then we can all enter nirvana together and we can be done with this world. Again, you can see in modern secular society, this could be very problematic because we already abuse the earth greatly. And the earth is in peril. We are in peril. We don't know if there's going to be a future right now, at least for humans and many other species. So a view that may be more helpful because there's a lot of other perspectives and views within Buddhism that can be very, very helpful for our time. But ideas about what's going to happen in the future, about whether our souls are going to be perfected for a future lifetime, so that we can eventually escape this world. These kinds of views, probably not so helpful, maybe even damaging. So to just be watchful of those kinds of views, and to embrace the mystery of this moment, right? We don't know what's going to happen in the future. We have to put all of our efforts into the present moment, doing everything that we can for this moment.